taking a look at the Eswatini election. Mr. Nxumalo, I appreciate your time today. Just give us an overview of what transpired during voting today.
Thank you very much, my brother. We appreciate the opportunity that you are affording to us. We have visited a number of polling stations around the country, and we can assure all interested parties that the elections were conducted according to the dictates of our Constitution, and everything went through smoothly and peacefully. We are waiting for results which we are expecting to start trickling in around 12 midnight.
Mr. Nxumalo, the registered number of voters, from what we understand, is somewhere in the region of 600,000. Are you able to give us an indication of how many people turned out to vote?
It was a massive turnout. I personally have done a visitation to about two of our four regions, which is Manzini and Babane. In each one of them, I was confronted by a huge number of voter turnouts. I wouldn't be in a position to give you the figures yet, but I can tell you, as I do now, that what we saw on the ground, Mswati have turned out to vote for their new government, to vote for their new parliamentarians. The figures, of course, will be reflected at the end of the voting exercise, which is expected to close by 7 p.m. this evening.
Now, Mr. Nxumalo, how does the government respond to criticism that these parliamentary elections don't bring about any meaningful change, given that the country is controlled by an absolute monarch?
It's interesting that you still, especially the South African media houses, are still referring to our monarchy as an absolute. Our monarchy is not an absolute. Our monarch is an executive monarchy. I have heard this narrative, which were being perpetuated through the various media outlets in South Africa since yesterday. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy, my brother, that you have already given us a latitude on Monday to unpack our electoral process. First and foremost, elections are not necessarily meant to vote for change.
What are they meant for?
We are not in a war or in a battle in the country. We are changing a government for a new government. There is nothing that we're anticipating. We are not looking for any bloody democracy that is to be parachuted from somewhere else. We are perpetuating, we are driving our own homegrown grassroots-based democracy in this country. And our king is not an absolute monarchy. He is a king that runs and governs this country through a constitution. He is not an absolute monarchy. In your case, you call yourself a democracy. When Parliament passes a bill in the National Assembly, that bill is taken to the President for his ascension. Mm. And when the President feels, for one reason or the other, I will give you an example. The President of the Republic of South Africa may feel that the bill is not compatible with the Constitution. What does he do? Does he sign it? No. He takes it back to Parliament, refers it back to Parliament, because the President of the Republic of South Africa, or any President of any state for that matter, cannot be a party to a law that contradicts the provisions of the Constitution. It works the same way here, my brother. When His Majesty the King is being provided by a bill from Parliament, he interrogates the bill, he doesn't just sign it. Because you must remember that it is not only Parliament that carries the bigger or the weightier interests of the Eswatini nation. His Majesty the King also carries, and he is a custodian of a bigger aspect of the national interest of this nation. This country has been ruled by kings or monarchy for over a period of 400 years. So he carries, constitutionally, he's been given powers and endowed with powers to interrogate what emanates from Parliament. That does not make him an absolute monarchy as much as your president in your country, when he sends a bill back to Parliament for further interrogation and debate, does not make him an absolute president.
Mr. Nxumalo, walk us through how government views the role of political parties and individual candidates in the House of Assembly, considering that political parties are banned in Eswatini.
Political parties in this country, my brother, are operating in the open. Members of political parties are participating right now in these elections.
Are they participating in their capacity as members of political parties, or as individuals?
No. We are not South Africa. We are not United States of America. We are not United Kingdom. We are a kingdom of Eswatini. What you do in South Africa, and it works for South Africa, does not necessarily impose it in any other countries or states of the world to copy the same. Democracy, remember, is operated in a context of the experience, the culture, and the history of that particular country. That's why in America you have only 2 political parties. In South Africa, I have lost count how many political parties you have. You still call it democracy. So in this country, political parties are there. But when you go for elections, a Mswati elect members of parliament based on communities where they come from. They are individual merit that we use to vote for members of parliament. Because we don't believe, for instance, that if you contest for elections, a political party can deploy you to KwaZulu-Natal, yet you come from Limpopo. What do you know about issues?
Surely that's the individual's
what do you know,
choice.
for instance? Yes, my brother.
Is that not the individual's choice on posting? I mean, it happens in any employment where if you seek to serve an organization or a people, you may be posted to one place or another.
And it doesn't stop them in this country, even if that is the arrangement they have made in their political parties. That is why in this country, my brother, you have had 2 prime ministers which belong to political parties. That is why in this country, my brother, today as we talk right now, you've got a wife of Makaukau Simelane, who is seated somewhere in the streets of London. His wife is contesting elections right now at Spofaneni constituency.
Mr. Nxumalo, I'm afraid we've run short of time.
Can I finish? Can I finish my narrative?
All right, I'll let you finish.
Allow me?
Please, sir.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, please do allow me to finish my narrative with you. Do not interfere as if you have already taken a side. Because I don't believe that is what journalists should do.
Please
journalists should balance their stories. Yes, my brother. We have right now an MP who belongs to a political party, and not for the first time. We have had president here of a political party, Mr. Janice Toll, of Swadepa, who was leading at some point a trade union movement in this country. We have members of Sibahle Nje, one popular MP, Mawik Tandukanya Kumalo from Lobambalomzala, who belongs to Sibahle Nje political party. He is going to parliament if he wins this time around for the 4th time. So our elections are not exclusive of those that come from political formations. They are inclusive of anyone, but that anyone must identify him or herself with the constituency, because an MP in this country must not serve Lutuli House. An MP in this country must serve the community where he comes from, because that's where the needs of the people are. That is the difference that we are talking about here.
Well, Mr. Nxumalo, I must appreciate your time this evening and trust that your elections were indeed successful. That was Alpheous Nxumalo speaking to us on behalf of the Eswatini government.